Debt is a dirty word. Most people run away from it. They see it as a heavy chain. It represents interest payments and stress. But look at the very top. The billionaires. The massive real estate moguls. They are swimming in debt. They owe millions, even billions. Yet, they only get richer. They are not stressed. They are actually quite calm. How can two people use debt differently? One uses it to buy a cage. The other uses it to buy freedom. There is a hidden bridge here. A bridge made of paper and logic. The wealthy do not fear the bank. They use the bank as a tool. Imagine you have $1 million. Most people think about spending it. They think about the taxes first. Selling stocks triggers a tax bill. The government takes a huge bite. But the wealthy hate paying taxes. So, they never sell. Instead, they go to the bank. They show the bank their assets. They ask for a loan. Not for a car or a house. They ask for a line of credit. This is where the magic begins. The bank sees the collateral. They offer a very low interest rate. The wealthy individual takes the cash. They use that cash to live. Or they use it to invest more. The original $1 million stays put. It continues to grow and compound. The debt is the engine. The assets are the fuel. Let us look at two investors. Meet Robert and Thomas. Both own $500,000 in stocks. Robert wants to buy a rental property. He sells his stocks to get cash. He pays $100,000 in capital gains tax. He is left with $400,000 He buys the property. His stock portfolio is now gone. He stopped his compounding forever. Now look at Thomas. Thomas does not sell his stocks. He goes to a private bank. He takes a loan against his stocks. He gets $300,000 at 4% interest. The stocks stay in his account. They grow at 8% per year. Thomas buys the same rental property. The property pays him rent. The rent covers the loan interest. Thomas still has his stocks. He also has a new property. He has doubled his wealth using debt. He paid $0 in taxes. This is the buy, borrow, die strategy. It sounds like a dark secret, but it is a standard play. It is perfectly legal. It is the ultimate financial hack. Most people borrow for consumption. They borrow for things that rot. Televisions, fast cars, expensive clothes. The wealthy borrow for production. They borrow to acquire more assets. Debt is like fire. In the wrong hands, it burns. In the right hands, it cooks. It powers the entire modern world. Why does the bank allow this? Because the bank wants your assets. They know the assets are safe. They want the interest, however small. It is a partnership of giants. The middle class is left out. Or are they? The strategy works at smaller scales. It works with home equity. It works with margin accounts. But most are too afraid to try. They have been told debt is evil. They have been told to save cash. Cash is the slowest path to wealth. Cash loses value every single day. Inflation eats it like a termite. Assets grow faster than inflation. Debt stays fixed in the past. Imagine borrowing $10. 000 today. In 10 years, that $10 000 is worth less. The burden of the debt shrinks, but the asset bought grows larger. The wealthy play with the clock. They use time to erode their debt. They use time to expand their wealth. It is a game of percentages. If your assets grow at 10% and your debt costs 5%, you are winning by 5% on money that is not yours. That is called leverage. Leverage is a dangerous physical force. In a crash, it can crush you. If the stocks drop, the bank calls. They want their money back immediately. This is the margin call. It is the nightmare of the wealthy. So, they never borrow too much. They stay in the safe zone. They keep plenty of breathing room. They are not gamblers. They are calculated risk managers. They know the floor could drop, but they also know the ceiling is high. Most people only see the floor. They are paralyzed by the risk. The wealthy are motivated by the gap between cost and return. This gap is where fortunes lie. It is invisible to the untrained eye. Look at a massive apartment complex. The owner likely put down 20%. The bank provided the other 80%. The tenants pay the bank. The owner keeps the remaining profit. The owner gets all the appreciation. The owner gets all the tax breaks. The bank gets a steady, boring check. Who is the real winner? The one who used the debt. The one who took the position. But this requires deep discipline. It requires understanding the math. The math is simple but counterintuitive. We are taught that zero debt equals peace. The wealthy know that smart debt equals power. Power to move faster. Power to acquire more. Power to stay liquid. Liquidity is the ultimate safety net. When you sell, you are dry. When you borrow, you are wet. You keep your options open. You keep your capital working. The system is designed for this. The tax code encourages it. Interest on business debt is deductible. Wages are taxed. But loans are not. A loan is not income. Therefore, a loan is tax-free. Think about that deeply. You can spend millions without tax, as long as it is borrowed, and as long as your assets grow. It is a loop of infinite wealth. It is how dynasties are built. They pass the assets to children. The children get a step up in basis. The old debt is settled. The cycle starts over again. The wealth never leaves the family. The government never gets the big check. This is the structure of the elite. It is not a conspiracy. It is just the rules of the game. Most people are playing checkers. The wealthy are playing high-stakes chess. They understand the pieces better. The most important piece is debt. Not as a burden, but as a bridge to the future. You can start small. You can study the mechanics. You can look at your own home. Is the equity sitting idle? Is it a dead asset? Or could it be a seed for a new stream of income? A seed for a bigger future. The risk is always there. The risk of being wrong. The risk of being greedy. But the greatest risk is doing nothing. The risk of staying where you are while the world moves ahead, while the currency melts away. Wealthy people do not work for money. They make money work for them. And they make that work even harder. It is a shift in mindset. From how do I pay this off to how do I use this? The first question leads to a finish line. The second question leads to a horizon. The horizon is where true wealth lies. It is vast and endless. It is waiting for those who learn. Learn the language of the bank. Learn the rhythm of the market. Understand the power of the paper. Stop being a servant to debt. Start being its master. The chains can become wings if you know how to fold them. The system is open to you. The rules are there to read. The only thing missing is you. Your move.